So, this happened to me a little while ago, and honestly, I'm still trying to figure out how it all blew up the way it did. You know those moments where you think you're just living your day and then suddenly you're the office hero and you have no idea why? Yeah, I became that guy. It all started with a completely innocent email. Nothing fancy, just a quick message to Lisa about grabbing lunch later. Nothing top secret or office shattering, just me being boring and human. But instead of sending it to Lisa somehow, I sent it to the entire office. Entire office. Not just the marketing team, everyone. Now, for context, our office isn't huge, maybe 30 people, but still, it's everyone from the interns right up to Mr. Thompson, our boss. And if you've ever met Mr. Thompson, you know he's the kind of guy with zero patience and an eyebrow that can pierce your soul from across the room. So, in my head, I'm thinking, great, just great. Mission self-destruction activated. But here's where things got weird. Instead of the typical groans or awkward stares you'd expect, people started looking at me like I'd done something legendary. Like I'd just pulled off some secret masterstroke of office communication. I mean, I could almost hear the imaginary applause in my head. Lisa, who's usually sharp and sarcastic enough to slice through any tension, just winked at me. Dave, the intern who tries way too hard and often misses the mark, gave me this wide-eyed, "You're amazing" look, which honestly made me more nervous. And then there was a whole ripple effect, people whispering, casting glances my way, and a couple of jokes flying around that I barely got because my brain was stuck in panic mode. I kept asking myself, how on earth did sending a personal email to the wrong group turn into me being some kind of office hero? Because trust me, my intention was just to avoid lunch with Lisa, not become the center of some weird office mythology. I was pretty sure I needed to figure this out quick before the fame turned into infamy, or worse, before Mr. Thompson noticed and decided to personally address my lunchtime communication skills. But at the same time, part of me was weirdly curious to see where this unexpected spotlight was going to take me. So yeah, that's how it all started. Me, just an average guy, accidentally hitting reply all, and suddenly feeling like I'd just stumbled into some bizarre office legend. What came next? Well, let's just say things got a lot more interesting from there. Our marketing office, if I had to sum it up in one breath, was a perfect storm of chaos wrapped in half a dozen coffee runs and a dash of low-key drama. You've got Lisa, sharp as a tack with a sarcasm level that could probably power all the laptops here. She had this habit of turning even the dullest Monday into a roast session. Then there was Dave, our intern, who was, well, let's just say his enthusiasm far outpaced his actual skills. Think of a puppy trying to do calculus, adorable and confusing all at once. And looming over all of us was Mr. Thompson, the kind of boss who believed that patience was a mythical creature, mostly because he never showed any. The man could make a spreadsheet look like a weapon of mass destruction just by glaring at it. Deadlines in this place didn't just come with pressure, they came with fear, urgency, and an unsettling silence that dropped every time he walked by. Which, as you can imagine, was every 5 minutes when we were chasing a big campaign launch. Now, about that email mishap. The plan was simple enough. Send Lisa my sorry no lunch today message and move on without a hint of drama. But that's not what happened. Instead, I hit reply all. And just like that, my mildly embarrassing lunch excuse went out to the entire office, including Mr. Thompson. Including everyone. My brain instantly went into panic mode. I mean, aside from my usual why me moment, the real kicker was what this could mean for the massive project we were neck-deep in. That deadline was like a storm cloud hanging over our heads, raining down stress in equal measure. If Mr. Thompson caught wind of any distractions, like, say, a rogue lunch email, it was as good as a do-not-pass-go moment, only you definitely did not collect 200. So there I was, frantically trying to figure out how to undo what I just did. I hovered over my keyboard, hoping beyond hope for some magic unsend button hidden deep in the email client. Spoiler alert, no such luck. The email was out, floating in cyberspace, and there was no pulling it back in. And as much as I wanted to disappear under my desk, I had to deal with the fallout. I leaned back, hoping to play it cool, maybe slip into the shadows unnoticed. But in a place like ours, word travels faster than the office Wi-Fi, which, ironically, is often slower than a snail on its day off. Lisa caught my eye with that familiar smirk, the one that said she knew exactly what I'd done but was too entertained to say anything outright. Dave, bless him, was already spinning tales, whispering nonsense about the email containing some secret project tip or a hidden message. Like I'd cracked some grand marketing code by accident. The absurdity of it all was almost enough to make me laugh. Almost. Meanwhile, the closer we got to that looming deadline, the thicker the air became. The air became. Thompson was pacing like a shark circling, emails flying back and forth with the kind of urgency that sets your nerves ringing. And there I was, the accidental star of the office, trying not to trip over the mess I'd made while keeping my actual work afloat. It was clear the stakes were way higher than my little lunchtime snafu. This wasn't just about a silly email anymore, it was about keeping the project on track under Mr. Thompson's watchful gaze, and somehow surviving the mysterious aura my mistake had created around me. So yeah, that brief, innocent click sent me plunging into a tangle of office personalities, rumors, and deadlines that were anything but forgiving. What started as a technical slip-up was suddenly shaping into a whole lot more, and honestly, I had no idea how I was going to navigate the mess without falling flat on my face. I spent the next few hours trying everything I could think of to fix this email disaster. At first, it was the classic, maybe, just maybe if I delete it from my sent folder, it'll disappear for everyone. Routine spoiler alert, it doesn't. I watched, helpless, as new little notification pop-ups started appearing on everyone's screens like it was some kind of office-wide announcement. Then came Plan B, sending a follow-up apology email. Sounds straightforward, right? Oh no, in my panic, I accidentally hit reply all. Again with the apology. Yep, now people had not one but two emails from me about not eating lunch with Lisa, both blasted to the whole office. Somewhere between embarrassment and incredulity, I realized I was the star of an unintended comedy show. Lisa, of course, could not resist. Later that day, she leaned over with that devilish grin and said, "You're really raising the bar for everyday office chaos, you know that?" I wanted to crawl under my desk, but she wasn't done. Seriously, if there were awards for accidental viral emails, you'd be CEO by now. Meanwhile, Dave had latched onto the whole thing like it was the juiciest piece of gossip he'd ever stumbled upon. I overheard him telling a group of coworkers, whispering like it was some grand conspiracy, "I heard the email actually contains some secret code about the project." Like he cracked the marketing strategy wide open by accident. "It's genius!" "Genius," he said. At that point, I was half impressed and half mortified. The rumor mill spun faster than I could keep up with. By lunchtime, everyone had a different version of the story. Some swore I dropped an inside joke that only a select few understood. Others claimed it was an intentionally clever distraction tactic to boost morale during crunch time. I mean, how on earth did "sorry, can't do lunch" become some kind of office legend? And the real kicker? Mr. Thompson actually mentioned it in the team meeting the next day. Not in the way I feared, though. Instead of an eyebrow-piercing glare, he said, "Well, whoever sent that email has initiative." Could have been deliberate, right? Keeping us on our toes. The room held its breath, then smirked. I half expected someone to throw me a cape. Lisa shot me a look that mixed disbelief with amusement, and for once, Dave was completely quiet, probably figuring this was beyond even his wildest ambitions. What really threw me was how this little slip-up flipped the atmosphere in the office. Suddenly, instead of being the guy just trying to avoid lunch, I was that guy. The accidental instigator of weird momentum that somehow pulled people together in the tense days before the project deadline. And as much as I wanted to reclaim my low profile, I couldn't deny a part of me was curious to see where all this unexpected attention would lead. I mean, if sending a lunch email the wrong way could transform into this bizarre kind of office hero status, what else could happen next? Little did I know, the real twist was just around the corner, and it wasn't about me at all. The day after Mr. Thompson's unexpected comment, the office felt different. There was this oddly light energy humming under the usual humdrum buzz of keyboards and coffee machines. It was as if my accidental broadcast had unwound some tightly wound tension, loosening up the team just enough to breathe before the project deadline crushed us all. Lisa, ever the queen of sarcasm, actually cracked a genuine smile during the morning briefing. A rare sight, I swear. Dave seemed to float around with a new spring in his step, tossing unsolicited ideas into conversations and asking questions that, surprisingly, weren't completely ridiculous. It was a small thing, but for an office like ours, it was a bit like someone suddenly finding a window slightly ajar in a stuffy room. The twist? Turns out the email spill wasn't actually about me at all. Well, not just me anyway. What bubbled to the surface was the odd dynamic everyone had been skating around but never really admitting. During one of those team sync-up meetings where normally everyone just nods along while secretly hoping to disappear, Lisa casually remarked, "You know, if it weren't for your legendary email, none of us would have actually talked outside of project deadlines this week." A few others nodded, sheepishly admitting that the mistake sparked more casual chats and even some laughs. It pulled us out of the grind and reminded us that we were more than just cogs in the marketing machine. There was this awkward yet really genuine moment where we all realized nobody was giving themselves permission to relax or cut each other some slack. We were running at full-speed Zoom mode, and that little email bubble gave us a moment of shared humanity. And here's the kicker, right when I thought the worst was an embarrassed, "Please don't bring this up again." Mr. Thompson walked up during a break, and instead of the usual death stare, he said, "You know, your email might have been a happy accident." Stirred the pot a bit. Sometimes that's what this place needs. I blinked like I wasn't hearing right. Was this the same guy who could outgrimace a funeral director? So how did I end up saving the day? Well, more like accidentally nudging us all toward being a team that talked, really talked, rather than just slogging through emails and deadlines like zombies. No brilliant speech, no master plan, just one wrong click that gave people a reason to smile, connect, and ease the rolling tension. I won't lie, there was some serious luck at play here. Was it skill? Maybe just a sprinkle of chaos management, but mostly, it was pure accident. I sometimes wonder what I'd do differently if faced with the same scenario. Would I own the chaos better, hide in shame, try to cover it up before it spiraled? But honestly, sometimes the best fixes aren't planned, they just happen. And if you're lucky, they come with a little unintended hero status, even if all you did was say, "Sorry, can't do lunch," to the wrong crowd. So yeah, that email, it wasn't a genius plan or some secret marketing masterstroke. It was me screwing up and somehow turning that slip into a weird win for all of us. And maybe that's just the kind of office hero I'm meant to be.